One of the biggest mistakes homeowners make when turning their home into a rental property is assuming the income starts immediately, and that there aren't many costs to get there. But the reality is, before you ever collect your first rent payment, there are often several expenses involved, and depending on the condition of the home, those costs can add up quickly. So if you're thinking about renting out your house here in Central Florida, let's talk about the real costs that many homeowners underestimate before making that decision. If we haven't met before, my name is David Weber with State Property Management. We manage rental properties throughout the Orlando and Central Florida area. And one thing we see often is homeowners becoming landlords for the first time. Sometimes by choice and sometimes because selling the property doesn't make sense right now. And one of the first questions they usually ask is, what is this actually going to cost me? And honestly, that's one of the smartest questions you can ask, because knowing those costs up front helps you make a much better decision. The first major cost is usually what we call make-ready costs. This is everything needed to prepare the property for the rental market. That might include interior paint, flooring repairs or replacement, deep cleaning, landscaping, minor repairs, appliance repairs, light fixtures, pressure washing. And this is one of the biggest areas where homeowners underestimate expenses, because what feels fine as a homeowner may not be competitive as a rental, and tenants are comparing your property to every other available option. Sometimes they'll walk a property with an owner and they think it only needs a few small touch-ups, but by the time everything is market ready, the actual cost is much higher than expected. This is very common. The next cost to think about is maintenance reserves. And this is a big one, because once a tenant moves in, things are going to happen. Air conditioning issues, plumbing problems, appliances breaking, water heaters, garage doors, roof leaks. That's part of rental property ownership. And one mistake many new landlords make is spending all their money getting the property ready and then having no reserves left when something breaks. And if that HVAC goes out in the middle of summer here in Florida, that's not a repair you can usually delay. So having reserves set aside is extremely important. Another area to plan for is carrying costs. This includes things like updated landlord insurance, utility bills while the property is vacant, lawn care if required, HOA fees, mortgage payments during vacancy. And this is important because many owners assume the home will rent immediately. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it takes longer. And every extra week vacant is another week of expenses. That's why pricing, presentation, and timing matter so much. Vacancy is one of the most overlooked costs in this entire process. Now, this is where a lot of homeowners make a mistake. They look at the rent amount and compare it directly to their mortgage. For example, my mortgage is $1,800 and the rent should be $2,300, so I'll make $500. But it rarely works that simply, because out of that rent, you may have maintenance, vacancy, leasing costs, management fees, repairs, insurance increases. And when you factor all of that in, that $500 can shrink quickly. That doesn't mean it's a bad investment. It just means you need realistic expectations. And understanding the numbers properly upfront is critical. And this is exactly where many homeowners find value in working with a professional property management company, because we help owners evaluate these costs before they ever put the property on the market. At State Property Management, we work with homeowners throughout Central Florida to help them understand what their property needs, what the market will support, and what their realistic costs may look like. You can also visit our website at www.managecentralfloridaproperty.com for more information and resources. Even if you're still in the planning stage, we're always happy to be a resource. Another cost homeowners should factor in is leasing itself. That includes marketing the property, showing the home, processing applications, screening tenants, lease preparation, move-in coordination. Whether you self-manage or hire professional management, there's time and costs involved. And just to mention, this video is based on our real-world property management experience here in Central Florida. It's not legal advice, and if you have specific legal questions, you should always speak with a qualified attorney. A lot of new landlords underestimate how much work happens before the tenant even moves in. And here's what I think many homeowners miss. Turning your home into a rental isn't just about whether the rent will cover the mortgage. It's about understanding the full picture. That includes upfront preparation costs, ongoing maintenance, vacancy risk, tenant quality, and long-term planning. Because when you plan properly, rental property can absolutely be a great long-term investment. But when you go in unprepared, that's where problems usually start. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified when we release new videos. Thanks again for watching. I'm David Weber with State Property Management. I'll see you in the next one.